What's up, guys? It's your boy Troy Weeks Music. I hope you're tuning in live because, we had to make some changes until yesterday. I had some things on my schedule that didn't permit me to be able to be here and be fully committed. And I want to make sure when I'm here, I'm fully committed. So you're tuning in live to Free Yourself Saturdays, which is now, but today's Sunday, with Troy Weeks Music. And, of course, my girl Coco Blue, who's always on the team helping me out, keep things moving and keeping in our chat room, making sure people are talking and tuning in and we can know what's going on. So today's show, we're going to kick things off as we normally kick things off. And I always kick things off by giving the full understanding of what Free Yourself is all about. Free Yourself is the final step of the process. It's the release, the woosah, the moment where you cross over and transition from being the victim to the victor. All the steps you needed to get here should have been covered by this point. You should now be ready for the rebirth of your new beginning. If this has you thinking and you're not quite ready to free yourself, that's fine. The moment when you are ready will be right here, and the moment won't be taken lightly because the awakening depends on you. In this segment, we let people call in so they can publicly free themselves from what's been holding them down or back from being great and moving forward in their lives. Freeing yourself is the symbolizing of letting go of that stronghold and having the power over it now. Doing it publicly allows you to tell that situation, that thing, that through the power of spoken word, you're now in control of it and it is not in control of you. So ladies and gentlemen, tuning in first time, that is pretty much what Free Yourself is all about. That's the basis of Free Yourself and why it was all created. But on another note, Free Yourself is also it's also a public outlet for a couple different things. So we focus on that being the main thing, what we talk about and where the vision came from. But this is also what it's about. If you have a dirty little secret you want to air out on air and honestly, you want to reveal your sexuality to your family and your loved ones on air. Has someone hurt you and you want your feelings to be heard? Or you just want to express yourself what makes you free? We want to hear from you. We're always available for you here. If you guys want to call in, you got to just DM us or DM myself or email us at savageonair@gmail.com. It's just that easy, that simple, and you're on air with us. Just that easy. So we're going to get things moving and kicking into today. I want to start things off by saying, this has been an amazing week. I had a big show opportunity this week. Something I've been wanting to do for a while. I had an opportunity to for those of you who don't know me, who don't know how to do music, Troy Weeks Music, haha. I'm a singer-songwriter MC, and I've been hosting events lately, though, for the last 4 to 5 years. And so hosting events, I finally was able to accomplish one of my dreams and hosting an event at a local venue here in Harlem, a well-known live music venue called Harlem Nights. And I will say this to you guys that are listening, that it's important to know this in this year. And I tell everyone that I know that's very close to me. Since you guys are listening and tuning in, you're very close to me, too. And I'm going to tell you this. This is very important. This is the year of making things happen. Whatever you want to do, whatever you're dreaming, it can happen. All you have to do is put it out there. First, take the first step. Say, you know what, this is what I'm going to do. I want to, write my book this year. I want to start my vlog this year. I want to take a vacation this year since I haven't been on vacation in 10 years. Even that. You say, this is what I'm going to do, and you take the first step and do whatever it is that you need to do it, and the God's going to follow through with the rest. It's really that simple, guys. It's been 1 month and 2.5 weeks of this year, and it's been an amazing ride of my life thus far, and this is only the early beginning. So it's beginning like in this way. I can only imagine what the rest of the year has to come. But back to this Harlem Nights opportunity. I have a band, Troy Weeks Music and G Groove. Our first big solo performance was this past Friday at Harlem Nights. We had a couple feature artists that were there. We had our Miss Kick-Ass Kiara open up. That's her Instagram. She's a spoken word artist, local here in Harlem, and she opened up. We had a friend of mine, C-Page Music, also known as C-Page Sings on Instagram, who killed it and got on that stage and did what he does. That was a dream of his to be performing at Harlem Nights. And in connection with me, being my friend, I was able to make that happen, so I appreciate that. We also had my girl, Phoenix, who was also doing backgrounds with me for the band, rocking out with G Groove. She also did a tune. And yes, that's Phoenix on Instagram. And we also had first-time performer at Harlem Nights, God's Beloved. You can find him at God's Beloved Universe on Instagram. He's from D.C. but lives in New York now. Pretty awesome night. It was kick-ass, dope, amazing. I had my band. We would jam. It's a real jam session, old school jam session. The band plays a tune, and whatever the band's playing, you jam out with them. And it's something that I think in this day and age is very well needed in the time that we're in. I just was watching the news a second ago, and the shooting in Florida, that gentleman that killed all those kids in Florida. Man, first of all, you can't turn it in the news without seeing shootings lately. Courtney, can you jump in with me on this situation because this is something that is all across the news, something that is everywhere, and it's it's really affecting people, especially with these guns. And we've been dealing with Carlos and these guns. So,
Yeah, it's
um,
crazy.
so yeah, tell me, what's your mindset and thoughts on this whole Florida shooting and what's going on? And we put our hearts out to those in Florida right now. If anyone from Florida, Noemi, I know she's one of our listeners in Florida. I hope everything's
Yes.
okay.
Yes,
Shout out to you if you're
definitely.
listening. I hope everybody's good. Praying for you guys and your family. But Courtney, tell me what have to say about all this.
Yes, first, Noemi, if you have, anybody that you know that was directly affected or you have any other insight being down there, definitely hit us up on the chat or in, our DM or anything. But
Please
as
do.
far as my thoughts, it's kind of crazy because they said some kind of number that was astounding the other day, something like 17 shootings
Mm.
since the beginning of the year. Um, in the
Whoa.
United States, and I'm like, I know it wasn't school shootings, but it was something in particular. I think it was mass shootings or public shootings, and I thought that was ridiculous. But that alone is just startling, in itself. But then as far as the school, it's incredibly. I wouldn't say frustrating. It's incredibly disheartening to know that we're starting the year off this way.
Right.
That's pretty
I
much
agree.
my input. I don't want to put in my political views or my thoughts on gun control because that's literally what everyone is doing. And, on Savage Media Radio and on Free Yourself, we don't do that. We don't talk about what everybody's talking about. So I'm not going to put
Absolutely.
in the political views, but, I'm just going to put my input and definitely say that, like, our hearts go out to everybody who was affected. And if anybody could shed more insight on things that maybe the media is not touching on, please hit us up. Definitely message us on
Please.
Facebook. We'd love to get it out to the listeners and get it out to people who, need to be informed. But definitely, our hearts go out. My heart and my family, we definitely are with the people, in Florida dealing with this tragedy at that time. But I just think it's appalling that much violence has already occurred in the beginning of the year. You know what I mean? It's psycho. It's really
Right.
crazy.
It's astonishing because I'm just like, wow, I didn't hear that or see that or know that, and that's kind of
Mm-hmm.
crazy. But that is so freely and so easy with all that's going on. We still focus on all the wrong things. It's like, well, you know what I'm saying? Like, it really, I've seen something on Instagram that showed how, mass shootings and, plots against Russia and Donald Trump,
Mm-hmm.
and they keep, shifting focus to things that, doesn't make sense versus focusing on things that really make sense because they don't want us
Exactly.
to really know. The less we are informed about what's going on, the more power they have. So that's why it's important to utilize platforms like we have here to be able to make those things happen. Because at the end of the day, the more we know, the better we are, people. That's just
Exactly.
what
The
it
more
is.
powerful we could be.
But definitely, we have power in numbers. So if you know something that can, benefit, the next man, let us know what's up. Because at the end of the day, each one teach one. That's how we stay together. That's how
Exactly.
we stand strong. That's how we unify. So that we can do what we have to do. Which brings me unified makes me think about something. Have you seen the Black Panther movie?
I haven't actually. I've heard all the hype.
Yeah.
I've never been, despite what I do. I do the comic conventions and the events that I do because I'm a big pop culture fan in the aspect of movies and television shows, and I literally can name any actor from any movie, and that's kind of like what drew me to it. But as far as like
Right.
comic books, I'm still relatively new, trying to like find out all the subgenres and sub characters that weren't really put in our view as kids. So it's
Right.
the whole thing is new to me, and I'm still trying to figure out the storyline. And I didn't want to be a poser and like show up to the movie and be like, yeah, look at that, that's the authentic Black Panther. Like, I don't know, I have no idea. So I
She was
wanted
like,
to educate myself before I actually go.
I like that. You was like, I'm not gonna be sitting up here looking crazy,
Yeah.
trying to blend in like I'm a
People are
diehard
gonna
fan and I don't know
know.
nothing.
I want to stick
I'm
out
like,
like a
this.
sore thumb. I'm not stupid. It's happened before. So I
Ah,
wanted to educate myself, but I haven't seen it yet. Have you?
I have not. I was just
Mm,
curious if you have seen it. I'm definitely gonna see it.
I
I
know.
was just curious as if you saw it, just to be,
But the
see
reviews
what
so
your thoughts.
far, the people that I know have seen it said that it's great. I've got some mixed reviews because there's some people who are diehard fans of the whole genre, the whole storyline, and they say like it's not true to form, or maybe the casting wasn't spot on, but yada yada yada. It's Hollywood. What are you gonna do? But other than that, I've heard that it's great, and the feeling and the power and the overall ambiance of the theater. I heard it's just I don't even know the word, how to explain it. I think it's like majestic. Like you feel the pride in the whole audience when they watch the movie. So that's kind of what I'm getting from the reviews on Facebook and, the people I know who've seen it.
Got you. See, yeah. Here in New York, for sure, was definitely a big thing. I had a lot of people who I knew that went. And some of my friends were like into it, and they got a little, dressed up and stuff, and they made it on the Huffington Post Instagram. And when right on the Huffington Post Instagram, that was pretty dope. And then also one of his other friends made it on Glamorous magazine.
Oh wow!
Post.
Oh,
yeah,
wow,
from the
awesome.
premiere, right here in Harlem. So that was dope. So yeah, I know a lot of people were like, yeah, I can't make your show because I'll be at the Black Panther premiere. Like they was not playing. They
I'm jealous though. I see everybody in like their garb and it's beautiful. Like I seen people come out in droves, just kind of just showing their pride and also excitement for the fact that this is being brought to light. And it's like I said, it's a subgenre, subculture of the comic book culture, and it's finally being brought to mainstream. Being an number one Marvel movie, it's just only going to go up from here. So people are going to start investing in the products, the merchandising, going back and reading the original comics. So that's what I like to see. It really kind of brings the whole storyline to the forefront. So that's what I'm happy about.
Like that, yeah, that's dope. That means, costumes for Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
That means, more roles of us black people that we could be looking forward to in the futuristic makings of those movies, all those kind of things, So actors like me could be thinking, like, maybe I can, get my muscles right, and get myself one of the movies. See, give me one of them trilogies of the Black Panther movie.
There you go. So dreams, dream big.
Yeah, dream big. Yeah, that's what takes me back to where we started. Right. Definitely dream big because I dreamed big and did my first gig with the band. We now have gotten booked for the next 2 weeks at Harlem Nights. So
congratulations! I gotta come down and see. I gotta come down. That's gonna be awesome.
It's definitely it's an interactive open live jam experience. It's definitely where the artist is you, the audience, because. Well, back in the day when you do a jam session, you literally would just go in and rock out. And that's literally what it is. Musicians can come in and rock up, singers, poets, rappers can come in and rock up. And it's really dope. We're definitely trying to make a new movement with things and what we're trying to do here in Harlem. And, we just literally spoke it out into existence, made the first step, and boom.
That's all you got to do is speak things into fruition, And bam, there you go.
Yeah, I agree, absolutely. So that was my whole point of opening with that. Like, at the end of the day, it's important that you really take time to nourish your dreams, to really work for your dreams and go after your dreams. And, remember that you only fail when you stop trying. So as long as you don't give up, as long as you continue to move forward and continue to press forward, you can definitely make those goals and dreams happen. It's just also, too, about being around people and having people pouring into you in your life, because it's important that on that journey towards success, it's not going to be easy, and not being easy, you're going to need someone to lean on sometimes, especially somebody like me. I'm always the rock for everybody for the most part, of my life. And then when I need to talk to somebody, I turn to someone, nobody's there. And so when that, it leaves me broken, because, where do I go from here? Exactly. And so because of that, I had to learn. Yeah, I had to learn from that. And so in that, I had to tell myself, you only fail when you stop trying. You can do anything you want to do, put your mind to it. What really puzzles me about what's going on in the world today is that we're out here trying to, it don't cost you no money to be you. It's free. To wake up every day and have the breath of life is a blessing. And it don't cost you no money. It's free. But yet we out here trying to be somebody we're not. Want to have all these surgeries and do all this and do all that because who says it's right? The propaganda, because the news, because social media, because magazines. This is what people tell us is right, and this is what we gonna do. They made plastic surgery so common now that the common middle class worker or person that got a little money get in their bag and easily go and get some little plastic surgery and look the way they want to. Nothing wrong with it. I'm not against it. Hey, you got a coin? Go do it. I'm not against it.
It makes the naturalist obsolete, though. Like,
that's my
like now I feel like I need to go get work done. I mean, I have boobs and I have butt. Like, what do I need? I mean, I could use a little extra lips. Let me go work on that.
Don't you do it, Coco? I'll slap that needle out the hand. I won't let him do it to you. No. You're a beautiful woman. You already know that. You got people trying to stalk you online.
Ha.
crazy people.
Yes.
Only beautiful, amazing people can stop.
Very true. Very true.
See, don't worry about that. You got stalkers. You're moving up the list in celebrities, and don't
See, I'm
worry.
trying. I'm working on it.
Yes, which brings me to my next thing. Since tonight was all about Q&A,
Mm-hmm.
I figured I would go into that if you don't mind,
Oh, look
unless you
at
want to
you
close out with anything in that.
transitioning. No, it's fine. I'm good.
Come on. Yes. So that brings a special question from me to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy being a woman in society and being a boss and running your own company and doing your own
Mm-hmm.
thing. And I run into a lot of women who work for other companies and other people who run into what we talked about a couple of weeks ago about sexual harassment and all these
Mm-hmm.
other things. And I realize now a lot of women are dealing with that since Donald Trump became president. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if that's like just people I know or if that's across the board. If you're out there listening, let us know in the chat room. Like, is this
Yep.
something that's really being going on in the
If it's
world?
widespread or if it's just in the
Widespread,
media, let
right.
us know.
Right, please, because it's really crazy. But being a woman and being a boss is not easy, especially being a young woman and a young
Mm-hmm.
woman of color and being a
Mm-hmm.
boss. So what I know a little about you, but for the people that are listening, in regards to you, tell the businesses that you run and what you're involved in, and then just literally that, and then what was it that really made you say, you know what? Either I had experiences where I don't want to work with somebody else because it's that, or I was around entrepreneurship as a kid. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
what made you want to be an entrepreneur? Because it was something. It had to be something, whether you came from it or you didn't. So what is it that you are? What are your businesses, and then what made you really? What was it that made you say, hey, I'm going to go into entrepreneurship?
I like how you put that together. Look at you. I am so impressed with your transition, sir.
Well played. Let's get it.
No, well, I actually do several things, but the main thing I do is I'm an event promoter and producer for public events. We do things like comic conventions, festivals. We're trying to work on definitely adding to our calendar and our repertoire shortly. But right now we do comic conventions and festivals for communities, mainly in Pennsylvania, but we're trying to move things over to my home, which is New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Right? Represent, right?
Shout out, right?
So basically that's what I do. So what we do is we think of events, we kind of brainstorm and create events from scratch. They've never been in existence, usually, it's usually comic conventions because kind of that's where the market is going right now. So that's kind of our golden ticket. So we think of convention names, and then we go from there and think of our formula. And then we start thinking about talent that we may want to have at the comic conventions, different types of content. And then we market it. We promote it just like, a club promoter would promote a club, or any marketing specialist would do flyers, online ads, paid ads, things on the radio, newspapers, things like that. Promote. That's the number one thing that you have to do in this type of industry. But that's basically what we do in a nutshell. We just create events and we promote them. Then we sell tickets to them, and then hopefully it turns out well.
It
and
will.
then exactly.
I'm hosting. I got your back. Come on.
Exactly. Right now we're on our biggest event right now is our third annual comic convention we have out in Philadelphia. It's called Philly Comics and Cosplay Day. It's kind of a community-based comic convention. We have some local celebrities as well as some big names in the voice acting industry. And just overall some good entertainment, good fun, some gaming. It's really cool. So we're trying to build that. We're on our third year, so kind of trying to build that up. But at the end of the day, at the end of the day, we also the day of we set up the event and we run the show on site. So that's pretty much a grand scale of what we do. But what basically got me into wanting to be an entrepreneur is I had always had that spirit. I have a lot of people in my family who are entrepreneurs. Especially my aunts. I have a lot of strong women in both sides of my family who have started their own businesses from scratch.
Strong women, come on.
Exactly. And they've, they're very successful to this day after years and years and years of, keeping it going. So it's in my blood, but also, aside from working for people, which I enjoyed, I did do things like a lot of crafts, a lot of things with my hands. I was telling you, I remember I told you before, I love to create things. So I used to create a lot of things, and I would be a vendor at shows, at a lot of like vendor shows, like art shows or conventions or things like that. And I always used to envy the people that would put it together. And then one day I saw that this small family had been putting together this giant show. So it was at that moment I was like, yes, I can do this. I didn't know it was regular people. I'm a regular person. Let me make this happen. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do it. And also, I expressed this a little bit, I think, in I don't know if I expressed this on our live show or on Free Yourself in the beginning, but I have situational anxiety. It's very, very bad sometimes.
And yeah, so, the show was Wednesday night.
Exactly. So I grew up where I don't have social anxiety. I'm extremely social. I love being around people. I have many friends. You know, I've grown my network very well because as I said before, I didn't have many friends when I was younger. So as I got older, made sure to really grow my network and treat them well. But as for situational anxiety, what it is when you get put into certain situations that cause you an immense amount of anxiety, it turns into a whole thing that you kind of dwell on forever. So, one of the issues is when I first started jobs, I used to have months and months and months of feeling intense paranoia. Which comes with situational anxiety, also comes with depression and a lot of other mental health issues. But for months and months and months, I would think people were looking at me because I may look different, or do I sound different? Do I talk weird? Are people laughing at me about how I do my job? And it's an immense, intense paranoia for months and months and months. And then, you know, if I actually relatively liked the job, I would stay, but it would usually lead to me quitting a couple weeks into the job. And I noticed that I was like, I'm guessing working for people is not my thing, so I have to figure it out. I've learned to control it. Like I've learned, like at my past couple jobs, I've stayed for several years because I've learned to kind of deal with it and know that it's all in my head. But a lot of people who suffer from mental health issues, they don't realize that other people understand it's all in your head. So I had to get over that hump. And then once I realized that, yes, it's all in my head and none of these things are existing. I'm as normal as can be. People like me. People are actually telling me to hang out with them after work. Like, there's nothing wrong with me. It's just my mind and my brain and these chemical imbalances are making me feel miserable. So once I got a hold of that, I was able to kind of like work it out, but then I just realized maybe it's just not for me. Maybe I do need to have my own thing. So that's pretty much what brought me to the fact that I want to own a business. I do still do part-time jobs. You know, sometimes I'll do Uber because, you know, it's good to have that extra income. And it's also, it builds your resume either way. Even if I'm planning to have a business for the rest of my life, you always have to have a backup. So I don't want my resume to just stop.
Say one thing and that's it.
Exactly.
Did the same thing for the last 10 years.
Exactly, and I don't want to be that way. I want to have different things on my plate. You know, now I have the podcast too, you know, so I have that. Right. So if I want to do like a radio station gig or something like that, I have backing. There's a lot of projects that I add to my repertoire so that I can always have something in my back pocket to keep me going, you know. So that's kind of in a nutshell what led me to want my own, pretty much.
Wow.
I hope that answered your question.
It definitely did. It answered it even more than what I expected. So it was like, I'm sitting here like, wow, like, okay. It actually gives me a part B, and not really more of a question, more of a, you know, like a challenge people, especially when I hear some of the things that they're doing that are amazing. So I listened to everything you said, and it made me think about, one, if you have so many strong, amazing women who are entrepreneurs in your family, and you do events, maybe you should start by doing a little ladies entrepreneurship ladies brunch or something to bring your family together with other young women who may be in college wanting to be an entrepreneur, or, you know, young women in high school who want to be entrepreneur. Like maybe, you know, doing something like that together with your aunts to show them, look at these generations of us doing our thing, and we're doing it. Like if you can do it too, if you choose to, you know, like if you have the same, you know, to also give them that motivation and inspiration to have each other as a unit to utilize. So now you have this different little family of all, you know, women entrepreneurs and those women that want to be entrepreneurs together. It's just something I sort of, you know, got from what you were saying. Like I felt like that would be something that could be, you know, could spark from what you're doing, because I feel like having that strong foundation was a great way of helping you to mature and move on and be able to make that decision. But a lot of us today don't really have that, and so not having that, you know, can make or break a lot of people. And so having that system and strong system that you had, you know, I feel like teaming up together with them to do events, you know, can bring together young women who really need that kind of guidance and advice and sisterhood. On top of that, I see that, again, you've been doing this 3 years. 3 years is a long time,
Yes.
and growing. So I feel like in the 3 years you've been doing it, I see, like, again, that's like twofold what I told you about your aunts. I see maybe you teaching other young women out here, young people, about how to really be a boss and be able to say, if you have an idea, you can take your idea and this is how you market, promote, and do it. Like, you can be, that's even another source of income for you, teaching and showing people how to really do it. If you was even interested in it, I just feel like the little that you probably know a lot more than you think you do. Especially because you said 3 years, and it was the 3 years that struck it for me. Like, most businesses fail within the first 2. So the fact that you're still going on in your 3 years, should tell you something great. So I'm hoping that, these things can get your brain moving, and maybe, I'm always down to help too. So,
you know what's funny, Troy? Because I actually, that's a really good idea about like having like a brunch or like something where it's like a networking to get people's minds going and letting people know this could be them, But I also wanted to do some motivational speaking, at schools.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I know on our podcast we talk a lot about college and how, college is not for everybody, and don't feel pressured to, just be kind of put in a box. If you have an idea and you have a passion, you can go for it and be just successful. Even going to college and pursuing your passion, people just always think that they need to focus on one thing or kind of like or bring it generationally to the forefront, and just because your father and your grandfather worked at your local your family owned deli, you have to work at the family owned deli. Like, you don't have to do these things. I know a lot of people are pressured and feel like they have to continue the pattern. So I always wanted to do like motivational speaking, going to high schools and talking to them and just letting them know that if you have a passion, be verbal, vocal about it, and let someone know that you would like to pursue this, So that definitely kind of like, I guess inspired me to kind of think of that more when you just said what you said about the brunch and the networking.
Listen, you're right on the same path that I've been on for a while. First of all, I've been doing motivational speaking since like 18. I moved here straight from Atlanta back to New York, and the first thing I did was send out emails on Craigslist and all kind of stuff like, hey, I'm looking to do motivational speaking in local schools, and, I was just hit the ground running. So I said that to say, I was talking with a friend of mine about exactly what you're saying, going to schools and talking to these kids, and, motivational speaking and utilizing the platforms we have to really talk to them about, making change in their lives for the better for themselves. And I'm sitting here looking at my chalkboard on my bedroom. I created a little chalkboard, and on the chalkboard, that's how I put my ideas. One of my ideas was to do motivational speaking in schools, but I couldn't figure out a name. I was like, what am I call it? And I came up with hashtag Operation Free Me.
Oh, I like it. I actually really love that. That's a great idea. Operation
Free Me, because I feel like people are held captive to themselves because of what they've been accustomed to, the way they grow up, their background, all these different things force people to be a certain way, and they need to be freed from themselves. And the freeing themselves, all those things have held them down. That's held them captive to being, being in their own prison. And so that's what I feel like Operation Free Me. And so you saying that, I have another person and another person or two that we can team up with here locally, and we can get that really moving. You know me as an MC, I'm really good with crowds, so we can go anywhere and get control. It's nothing.
I love the microphone. Like, the microphone is like my happy spot. It's like my euphoria. Real quick though, we have Daquan Carter, our resident chatter.
Come on, Kevin.
He says the first thing he says is, "Love to hear y'all making your dreams come to fruition." So I'm guessing that's, I guess, to both of us. So thank you so much. And then also he said, "Good idea, Troy." I'm guessing he's talking about what you just said about the brunch and the networking and all that stuff, which I agree. Yeah. That is a great idea. So kudos to you. But thank you, Daquan. You keep our chat lit all the time. You make other people start talking. You make it get rowdy. So thank you so much, Mr. Carter.
Shout out to you, Keza. We really appreciate you. I was waiting for it. I'm sitting here like, I wonder if Daquan's going to catch. That we changed the day. I'm waiting to see. Right. I was getting ready to ask you before you questioned me to see if we got anybody in the chat room once we started, dulling down on that conversation. And sure enough, coming right on time. Right in the clutch, baby.
So, keeping it moving on, I actually have a question for you.
Yes,
talking about passion and dreams and kind of following your niche, you said that you created your own brand of music. I would like you to tell everybody again. I know you've briefly mentioned it, here and there, but we don't always have so much time to chat on the live shows. So, just to get everybody kind of in on it, let them know the name and what kind of inspired you to create your own brand of music, and also when did you find out that you were musically talented, that was your drive and that was your passion? I just want you to let myself as well as the listeners know, because I'm very curious.
Oh, awesome. No, I'm definitely down. It's something that I'm used to talking about at this point, for sure. Like, I'm comfortable. I love it. It's expressive, and it's really, really liberating for me to be able to express it. So thank you for bringing it up, because it's very important. Well, I've been singing since I was 3 years old and performing since I was 14. So that's where it all began. Like, music has always been something I've been a part of my life, and performing has always been a part of my life, something I've always been interested in. I would do little talent shows with my cousin Justin, who called in like 2 weeks ago. We would do talent shows with my family in the house. Yeah, he's a rapper.
Shout out Justin. That's my dude. Like, he was lit. I liked him. He was great.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. We were talking about it recently. He's here now in New York visiting. So I'm talking to him earlier. And so we would do family talent shows, and so I've always had an itch for talent and, singing. The craziest thing is, I'll share this with you guys. A lot of people don't know. I feel like I was saving this for like the Behind the Music VH1.
Right.
But I'll share this with my
practice. You have to have practice.
Right. Got to practice. Right. So I'll share this with my For Yourself audience. But funny little story. I was about 9 years old, and they had a big talent search that year, and they were going statewide, and that was the year they discovered 702. And they came to New York, to the Apollo, to do this talent search. And my little 9-year-old self saw it on TV. Like, I'm going to this talent search. Somebody's going to take me. I don't care who's taking me. Someone's taking me. So I get dressed and all cute and everything, put my little clothes on. And my mom is asleep. She's doing her. Nobody's really around. So I sneak and walk 25 blocks to Apollo by myself.
No, you did not.
At 9 years old.
Oh, my goodness. You know how dangerous that is?
I know now. Lord. I mean, I didn't know then. I just wanted to get there.
You were determined, though. I was determined. Give it to you.
And my grandmother lived on 135th Street, so I had to pass by her house to get there 10 blocks away. So I'm like, I hope I don't run into my grandmother. So I'm trying to go different ways. So I have to run into my grandmother. I get to the Apollo, get to the line, I go inside, and I sign my name on this paper. And I'm like, they asked me about my representation, and I tell them, yeah, my management's coming. And I give my aunt's name and say, yeah, she's coming. And I'm like, how do my 9-year-old self do this?
That's incredible.
I'm like, I sit down and realize, like, yo, you little something.
Right?
Wow. I walked in there, like, my management's coming, don't worry. Sign my name. They probably couldn't read my damn handwriting with my chicken scratch handwriting.
Oh, that's adorable. I'm not going to lie.
Listen, they need to put that in my E-Hollywood story. The little boy walking through the Apollo. So
I'm going to definitely vouch for you if they ask to interview me. For you, I'm going to definitely vouch for you, though.
Listen, I'm telling you, it's crazy. I did it. I walked there, signed my name. They probably couldn't read my handwriting because the person before me went and the person after me went. And I was like, okay, well, where's my name? Because I was here, too. I signed up. And then time started getting later, and I was like, somebody going to come looking for me.
Right.
I'm supposed to be home.
Oh.
They're going to go to the local park and see if Troy's not in the park. Something right.
Then there's going to be a whole 10 o'clock special about this missing boy.
A whole beat down,
Oh, that too.
So I leave, and I go a different way because I'm like, I don't want to run into my grandmother. I'm walking down the street, boom, walking past the laundry. My grandmother and my aunt are in the laundry.
Oh, no.
Someone calls my name, and I turn around, and it was my aunt. Busted.
Oh, my goodness. That is actually the greatest childhood story I've heard in a very long time.
Good. See, I don't really talk about that much. Like, it's really a little secret, but
now it's not.
It's not anymore. I got my tail whooped though. I did.
Of course you did.
When I finally got home.
Rightfully so.
It was the best experience of my life. So yeah, since I was 3, before I was 14, I snuck out at 9 to go to the Apollo and got a weapon and came back. Yeah, so I've always loved like neo soul music and soul music and Temptations, Stevie Wonder, Luther Vandross. I always loved that music because my family played music growing up, but no one really was a performer. So God gave me this gift, like literally, He really gave it to you. My dad's a charmer. He's an MC, so I can give him that. You know, I'll give a shout out to Loco and Loco and ATL. That's my dad. Shout out to you, Dad. You know, he's an MC. I seen that he was MCing clubs when I was in high school. When I was like 14 in high school, he was MCing clubs. So you know, I didn't even know.
Daddy.
Shout out to my dad. I didn't even know that I even had that talent in me. But before we get to that part, let's go back to the music. So in doing the music, I had all these different inspirations, but I sounded like Cisco, who was one of my favorite artists. I sounded like YA for Boyz II Men. Shout out to Boyz II Men, first of all. Last night I got to be backstage.
Aren't they phenomenal? I saw them live.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. YA was doing these dance moves that he had these young kids beat. Yo, they better watch out. Like, he's one of my idols, and I should have had an opportunity to take a picture. The only thing I wish I would have, but I was so focused on, you know, my friend got to open up. Shout out to Danielle Martin. She got to open up for Boyz II Men yesterday in the Bergen County Pack yesterday. So I got to be there with her and share that moment with her and support her and help her out on what she needed help with. So I was, you know, we got to support our friends.
Of course.
And so Boyz II Men, shout out to them. And so my idol. Yeah, but anyway, you know, I had all the inspirations, but I didn't really fit in anywhere. Like, I know I wasn't an R&B artist. I wasn't a pop artist. But gospel was my background. Like, I didn't grow up in church, but I started singing in church around 13. So here and there, different churches all over. And so I had a slight church background from that, but I didn't grow up in church. So I had all these inspirations, but I didn't fit in one place. So it wasn't until it took me 14 years. And the reason why I say 14 years, about 14 years old, I started pursuing music seriously. I started writing music, writing music and really trying to take it seriously. And, you know, doing talent shows and getting myself out there as an artist, really just singing anywhere I could sing and anywhere I would be heard. And so that's what I did. And so it took me 14 years, from 14 to the age 28, to really solidify, where do I fit in? What do I sound like? Where do I belong? And so the answer is this. I sing R&B, neo, soul, and gospel music. But because I didn't fit in one box alone, I created my own style and genre of music entitled Soul and Me. So I sing soul and me music. And so that's what comes from me.
Real question. Where did you come up with the title, with that being the title of your brand of music?
Like always, a lot of things God gives me vision for things, especially the things I want. I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to find exactly, like, there's a whole, because you know how people try to say, oh, that's not this, that's not that, that sounds like this, that sounds like that. And I'm like, well, you know, you gotta be able to differentiate yourself from everyone else. And so there's some key points that I have that if I can find it, I'll definitely bring it up doing it. But
brainstorming.
I write everything down.
Love it.
I know where I'll find it. But there has its own distinct characteristics that makes it soul and me, because it can easily be prepared like that. It can be, oh, you just a gospel artist that sings, you know, R&B music sometimes, or you're really an R&B artist, but you know, R&B has its own specific sound and, you know, classifications, and the same thing, you know, as, you know, neo soul. You know, I love neo soul music. The feel, the vibe, the emotion, you know, all of that is amazing. And, you know, I feel like what the stems from it all is two things. Music is supposed to make change in the world, and I feel like music isn't making the change that it needs to make. So I feel like God created me to be that gateway for music to make that change that needs to be made. I really do feel like that, because, you know, the message behind my music is not just a genre and style of music, it's a movement. Because God is so great that even identical twins aren't identical when you think about it. Let me tell you why.
Exactly.
It's two identical twins, Bob and Bill. If Bob goes out and shoots somebody, Bill's not going to jail because Bob shot him. Bob going to jail because Bob shot him, because Bob's fingerprints is on that gun.
Very
so
true.
if God can make identical twins not identical, it makes you think you're not special, unique in who you are as a person. From the crown of your head to the sole of your feet, to your freckles, to your gap teeth, to your bow legs. God made you special, creatively unique in His image, and that's who you are. So stop trying to be somebody else who you're not, and be happy with your nappy hair.
Because,
you know, somebody out here trying to make their hair nappy. Be happy with your straight hair and put curls in it every now and again, because somebody out here trying to get their hair straight every day.
Exactly.
You know, so it's like, come on, be happy with who we are. We got to first embrace our naturalism of who we are. We were created this way. Stop trying to get in the times and keep up with the Joneses and everything else that's going on around us, and losing focus on what's important. That's us. That's who we are as people, as individuals.
Real
Each
quick.
and every one of us.
So Daquan, since we're still on the music, He commented, "First time I remember hearing Troy sing was at a family funeral, and he sung so amazing. He had brought the feelings right out of everyone. Had us all crying uncontrollably." Aww, that's so cute.
Yeah, he's definitely telling the truth. Thanks, Cuzzo. Yeah, like that's where it started. It started with my family funerals, and next thing you know, I started doing family funerals. I started bringing my karaoke machine. I ended up getting me a speaker, just like a little speaker, portable speaker, before they really started getting popping. Like one you plug in though, not the ones without the battery. This one.
Gotcha.
And I would plug it in, and I would do karaoke with my family on holidays.
Oh, wow.
Literally, this is literally before I even became a karaoke host. I've been hosting events for the last 4 years. I've been hosting karaoke with a company called JWE, Jay Wesley Entertainment, with my business partner and brother, John, also known as DJ Trackstar. Shout out to you, bro. I'm always mentioning him. I don't know if you've heard any of these podcasts ever.
We need to get him on this.
We need to get him on so you can see this is real life. But yeah, he's my bro. He gave me the matter of fact, I definitely gonna bring him on. We're gonna talk about JWE and how we all got started and all this movement that we have going on because he gave me an opportunity, a chance. A couple years ago, 2014 as a matter of fact, I came back from Australia and he was hosting karaoke at Dinosaur Barbecue here in Harlem every Tuesday. And a friend of ours, Sequoia, she was hosting with him and I was like, this seems so dope, amazing. I wanna try it. I never did it before. I wanna try it. And one day, the host, she didn't show up. I said to DJ, I was like, you know what? Can I get a try? Like, give me a chance, bro. Give me a chance, bro. He was like, you know what?
Right?
I'm going to let you rock. And we've been rocking 4 years straight. We're still here. We're still rocking. And we were getting ready to get back with our karaoke. We used to do weekly karaoke, weekly Saturday night turn up. We had our moments, our highlights. And, we took some time off. And, we're coming back with our weekly karaoke. Probably starting next month. So
I love karaoke. I need to get over. I gotta stop saying down there because you're literally like across the water. So I gotta
stop
get over there. Stop
playing yourself. You're on live air right now. You're listening to Coco Blue and Troy's music. She needs to bring herself across the bridge. So y'all understand. But yeah, like our karaoke is very important. The difference is this. Like I'm not that type of person. Like as a singer and as an artist, people are like, why you can't do karaoke? You sing good. I'm like, at the end of the day, karaoke is all about experience.
Exactly.
It's not that drunken type karaoke. We have 2 rules with JWE karaoke. Have fun and make it memorable. We don't care how you sound. If you can't sing, you can rap. If you can't rap, you can dance. Don't play me. So when you get on stage, you get the microphone, go ahead and have fun. It's about you. We'll sing background for you. We dance. We do all kinds of stuff.
Oh my goodness, I have to go. Oh, I really have to go. Now you got me all excited. I got to bring my husband. He would have a lot of fun with that.
Please, and bring your friends from your husband's surprise party that day.
Yes.
Bring them all. Bring them in. Pile up and bring them.
I got
to the city
you.
so we can definitely do that. So yeah, like all these things have come full circle, and now all these amazing things. I went from not just doing my music. I went to school to study theater. So, I got some acting. I need to finish, so I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be real because I'm freeing myself. I'm going to be real. So nobody out there can call me out. I got 3 more semesters to finish, and I actually have my degree, bachelor's degree in theater. I'm out of school right now, but I know at some point I will finish those 3
We are in the same position. You have no excuses for nobody. Don't even worry about it.
No, that's for people out there who may not be in school right now who got some credits to finish. Don't get discouraged. We need to finish still because once you got the degree, they can't take it away from you. Like when you have a deed to a house. Can't take it away.
Life
so get
is
your
not
education.
a race.
It's not. Come on, get your education. And so I forgot what I was talking about. I got so caught up in the education.
Musical theater. Musical theater.
Yes, musical theater. Oh yes, acting, musical theater. And then I started getting into emceeing, and so with emceeing, took me to a whole other level because I started hosting weddings, proms, bar mitzvahs, all kind of events. It opened me up to a world of so many different things, and it was just been truly a roller coaster ride. It's been amazing.
It's so incredible how like our experiences and our industry kind of go hand in hand. It's like so similar, because with what I have to do, I have to be comfortable in front of people. I have to speak on the mic. I have to host. I create the events. Sometimes if I do like help out with a wedding or something like that, I've organized the event. So it's kind of crazy how like we have such similar experiences that came from such different roots.
Right. That's what I love about networking and being able to meet new people because I feel like we're brought together for a reason. Like at the end of the day, I had to get involved in event planning with MCing because I'm more hands-on. I'm talking to the event planner. I'm talking to the bride and groom. I'm talking to the family. I'm talking to the vendors. Like,
exactly.
As an MC, most MCs show up and just do their job and leave. But I'm really hands-on with my company. with JWE, because it's important for me to not just be a face, but to be able to put that hard work in, so that when I've been trying to groom other hosts and people to come along behind me, because I know that I'm gonna outgrow the things that I'm doing, and I want to have opportunities for those who have the charisma, who have the personality that I have, who may want to just learn. I didn't have anybody to teach me. It all came from natural talent and just wanting to learn. And when I would listen to myself back at it, I would like, oh, that doesn't sound good. Let me not say that. Let me do this. And so in all of that, I learned. And now I have techniques and I have things I can teach other people that want to do it. I'm just looking for people who are hungry and want to do it. Like, I was hungry when I became an MC. I really, really wanted it. So I'm just trying to find people that really are hungry, that want it, that can really make it happen. Like, I'm down. Like, I've been, even with the band, and now I went from all of that MCing to now I have my own band.
I love it.
Like, all my dreams are coming true.
Exactly. I'm so excited and happy for you, and it's only up from here. So all you got to do is stay focused, and you will do greatness. We are already doing greatness. All of us are doing greatness.
Right. We definitely are.
So I think we have time for, 2 more questions. So one for you, one for me. So I think it's your turn. You got to ask me another question.
Yes, I was thinking about to get my mind right. I'm like, dang, it has to. My last one was real good, and I gotta, oh, I know what I'm gonna do. Okay. Come on, Holy Spirit. Mm-hmm. So this is what we have our show on Wednesday nights, and it's 5 guys and a girl.
Yes.
And so a lot of us are either, a couple of you guys are married in relationships. Some of us aren't married. We're either in relationships, single. Mm-hmm. And so what I do admire about you is being married and being in a successful marriage, and being able to, I'm not just saying that because I know I talked to you on the phone as my co-host. I'm like, I've been to your house, and
yep.
I was able to meet your family, and so I feel like being able to be in that environment, I can say that. But I feel like seeing the love around you and seeing, the people that support you and are doing this amazing. And so my question is this: being married, being young, in a marriage in 2018, how is that something that you can continue to do every day? And smile and be the best, person that you are. Like, how does it, because some people aren't, they're going through and they don't know. So it's more so through you being able to help other people in what you get ready to say. But being young, being married in 2018, what does that look like? What does that feel like? How do you keep it going?
Well, I think the key to any relationship, whether you're married or whether you're, just starting off, is to work towards being each other's friend. I think that's key in any relationship, even family. You have to be each other's friend, because who do we hold at highest regard? Our parents and our friends.
Right.
And our siblings, our siblings, our parents. As people who are kidless people, we hold our parents and we hold our siblings and our friends at highest regard. It's not just acquaintances. It's not, boyfriends and girlfriends. If you think of boyfriend and girlfriend, they come and go. So you want to be something. You want to build on a friendship. So if, that doesn't mean you have to have the same things in common or like the same activities. Like, me and my husband are completely different when it comes to activities that we like. I'm a very adventurous person. I literally can jump at a dime. I'm spontaneous, and I can just go. My husband's more of he likes to do the things that he likes to do. We enjoy he loves video games. What I do is I grew up playing video games, so I haven't really done it lately, but because it is something that I do enjoy and I did once have a passion for, I've downloaded a bunch of games that I would love to play, so we play together. You just have to work on, kind of creating a balance. Like, we both love movies. We found out the things that we do enjoy together which is we love movies, so we watch movies constantly. We find shows, and we start off watching shows on Netflix 1 or 2 episodes at a time, and if we both don't like it, we won't continue it. Like, either one of us won't continue it. Just the small things. So until we find something that we really want to watch together, and we just start, binge watching, and that's another activity. So what basically I could tell people to do is create balance and create friendship, because that's the main thing to create a strong foundation in any kind of relationship. Now, as far as a marriage and how to keep it going, being young and being in 2018, the main thing that I would tell people to do is make sure to have consideration. Both of you have goals, both of you have dreams, both of you have emotions. Don't think that one is stronger than the other. You're both are on the same slate. If you're in a relationship, and especially if you're married, you start off on the same slate. You're both are equally as strong, equally have as much pull in the relationship. So don't take anyone for granted. Be considerate of their feelings, be considerate of their dreams and things they want to accomplish. Don't hold them back. And then, you guys can be a force. You guys can be a force together and stronger than you ever were apart. So definitely focus on being considerate and having balance and creating a friendship. That's really what I would say is the key to making a relationship last and making a relationship ever changing and making a relationship worthwhile every step of the way. So that's what definitely I would give to anybody who's thinking of starting a relationship, maybe in a relationship and things aren't going exactly how they planned. Just try to practice one of those things, and I'm sure that things will definitely, get a little headway moving forward.
Wow. Thank you so much, Court. Wow, I appreciate that.
Of course.
I'm starting listening to you too, speaking. Yeah, that's exactly, high five to you. I was looking for that.
Real quick, thank you, Troy. But real quick, we have some comments again. So going back to what you said about how everyone is different and everyone has something special to give to the world, he said, hold on. He said, that's why no one should try to change their look. And that is very true. If there's things that you want for yourself, to change for yourself, then go, by all means, do it. But don't change yourself for what society is making you believe is what you need to, how you need to change or how you need to look. So do it for yourself, and if that's something that'll make you truly happy, go for it. Don't kind of fall to the norm and let your you fall by the wayside. So definitely be you all the way. So we totally agree. And then he also said, I lost the other one. Oh, he said, you seem really natural speaking, Coco. Thank you. Thank you, Daquan. I appreciate it. I love compliments. I'm not vain, but that made my day. Thank you so much, Daquan. I appreciate it.
Come on, thank you. Right. She definitely sounds like a natural. I love it. I love talking to you.
Thanks. And then also, pertaining to what I said about relationships, he said, opposites attract. When being married, it's about being respectful, comfortable, as far as not taking advantage, but feeling that you are at ease in your relationship. Also, not wanting to hurt your mate's feelings and never wanting to see them hurt. I love that. Talk about some knowledge. That's
I'm snapping over here. Can you hear
right?
my snack?
Exactly. So thank you so much.
We gotta have him call in, Daquan. We gotta have him call in. Stop playing, Daquan. We're going to get you on this phone because, man, you always keep us going. And, maybe we're going to find something different in you. You ain't even know you had.
Exactly.
Maybe we're going to put you in charge. Maybe we're going to put him in charge of the chat or something because the way he keeps those conversations going, we're definitely going to get him on those forums when we start doing that motivational speaking. So don't you be trying to hide out when we come around looking for you. Because all of that needs to be said.
I want to end the show with something a bit more upbeat. It's also, it's intimate, but it's on an upbeat kind of, I guess, wavelength. I want to ask you, because I met you in person. I also, can hear it in your voice and just your being, your overall aura. You have a very unique personal style. I want to know what kind of inspired you to, have your hair the way you have your hair, wear the clothes the way you wear your clothes, just what kind of inspired you to create what is Troy, basically?
Wow, that's a good question. No one's ever asked me that before, Courtney. I have an answer for you. I'm always ready. No, I think the inspiration really came from finding my own style and genre of music. But I really found where I fit in and what my sound was to me, where I belong, then I felt like, hey, I could be myself now, and myself being whatever I feel like doing. And so I've had the locks for a couple of years, 4 years now, in April. And so for me, I've always wanted to do something different. And when I came back right before I went to Australia, that was the biggest trip of my life because I was going to be away from my family and friends.
How long?
For 3 months.
Oh, wow.
3 months. That's 3 months away in Australia. And so for me, that was a big step in my life. I'm a twin. Being a family man, being a twin, I'm used to being around my family. You had to leave your better half,
like your other half.
I had to leave her behind, and I know, but as long as she knew I was coming back, she was okay. But that really was a learning experience for me because that was the first time in my life that I've ever had to really do things on my own. I went to the movies on my own. I ate dinner by myself. I cooked for myself. I enjoyed it. Like, I got to, and I'm always meeting people.
It's liberating, right?
It was 100% liberating. And the most liberating thing about that, let me tell you, in all seriousness, the most liberating thing on that was God took me all the way to the other side of the world to make me realize that I don't have to kill myself and go crying, go punch walls, get mad when people don't support me. Because the people, God took me to Australia to realize that. Because the people that, when I was in Australia, there was people that didn't know me from the paint on the wall. They heard me sing for the first time, and they followed me to every show I had. Where you at? Give me information. I'm going to come see you. And they were there and consistent. And I said, if these people who don't know me from the paint on the wall could support me like I was their, like I'm the biggest celebrity there is, and they're my biggest fan, then I don't have to worry about my family and friends who are right next door, who are even in the same house at sometimes, who don't support me the way I need to. At the end of the day, I need to stay focused on the grind, do what I need to do, follow my dreams, and the rest will follow. And I made a statement on my Facebook before I came back, and I said I had an aha realization moment that that at the end of the day, I had to realize that I just need to focus on my dreams and focus on doing that, and no matter what. If people don't want to support me, it's fine. But if you're not going to support me now, don't expect to be with me during my success.
When you're making millions, don't come calling to me like, cousin, how you been? Who? No, I got you.
Right, 'cause I will definitely. I love everyone. I'm not a rude person. I'm not shady. Sometimes we all have shade. But
always.
I'm the most loving person, caring person there is. But if you did not support me, if you did not help me pass out a flyer, if you did not share my post not one time, don't expect to be chilling in VIP. Don't expect to be invited to my house or concerts or, don't.
That's how it should be.
I don't care how long I've known you. It has nothing to do with numbers. It has to do with loyalty. It has to do with, support. Who's the support system? Who's inspiring me? Who's motivating me? And that's what's important. And so, like you said, like I saw, on Instagram that Will Smith had posted up. He had saw something about light your flame and light it bright. And those around you not lighting your flame, then those people need to be around you. Exactly. They're not motivating you, inspiring you to be great, pouring into you, lifting you up when you're down. They don't need to be in your life, and that's just that. You got to learn to let some things go. It's a new year, baby.
Let go of negativity. Let go of negative people. Let go of people who hold you back from what you really want to accomplish. There's a lot of people, like I say all the time on all the shows, people feed off of sadness and failure. Misery loves company. So you have to find those people who want to kind of share in your happiness,
That's right. And this is what Free Yourself is all about. Those are some of the key things that I mentioned every open about freeing yourself. You got to free yourself from those things. You got to free yourself from those things. And that's what this platform was created. And that's what it's all about.
Real quick, Daquan said, I'm here when needed. You sure are, honestly. If we need somebody to keep the conversation going, Daquan's there. If we need somebody to chime in, Daquan's there. So he's definitely there when we need you. So thank you so much. You come through in the clutch. And if you have any friends that you want to kind of duke it out with, let them know to come in and meet you on chat. It's so much fun. And we definitely, as you can see, we shout out your comments. So definitely, if anybody's listening that it hasn't gotten on the chat yet, please hit us up on the chat. We have a lot of contests, every couple of weeks we give out some money for people who answer questions about the show, so see if you keep you guys listening. So definitely hit us up on the chat. It is so much fun, I promise.
It is. We really appreciate it. It keeps us going. At the end of the day, you don't even know how big of a help being in the chat room helps us to keep doing what we're doing, because we want to hear from you. It's, I can sit here and say the same thing every day, and it'd be the same thing. But if we don't have people interacting, and being involved, that's what the show's about. This is the people's platform, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, exactly. We got to keep doing that. We got to keep hashtagging that, so that it can spread around and they can they can know it's the people's platform. Okay.
I agree. Maybe we can. Maybe next week we can get someone from Florida. Maybe we may know someone who may want to see themselves in regards to what's going on down there.
We need Naomi back. She was great. Oh, speaking of hashtags, Daquan also said hashtag free yourself, Savage Media. See, that needs to be
too. Yo, he's hired. You're hired, Daquan.
He's hired. So you want to take us out, Troy? It's been great. Yes. This has been an eye-opening episode.
Yes, I love it. Thank you so much. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for tuning in to Free Yourself Saturdays, which was Sunday today, don't forget. Yes. With Troy Weeks Music and Coco Blue. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a people's platform. We cannot do what we do without you. You can listen to us live on Spreaker.com and in the chat room right there. Tune in live. We definitely stay connected to you. You can free yourself at any given moment. You can let us know via email, savageonair@gmail.com. if you want to be called in, if you want to talk about something, even if you want to call in and you want to talk about something on air, you don't want to be in the chat room, you can anonymously send that stuff. Anonymously send it to us. And we won't say your name or where you're from or nothing like that, but you freeing yourself is going to help other people free themselves. So it's important that, we set this people's platform on a fire movement and let people know. And that's what we're going to do the challenge this week. If you're tuning in live, if you heard episode 5, please, hashtag people's platform. Get out there and let people know if they need to talk, they want to get something off their chest, they have a place they can do it, and that's here on Free Yourself Saturdays with Troy Weeks Music, each and every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We got to get out of here, and as each and every week we always, end things the same way by saying, stay savage.
Stay savage, guys.
Till next week. See you guys.